Behind high walls and barbed wire lies a hidden world of imprisoned women that few know about. Today, we take you on a dark and thrilling journey inside the world's most dangerous women's prisons, from Colombia to China, Australia to the USA. These prisons hold stories of despair, resilience, and survival. In this video, we uncover the secrets of life in Pasteur in Bogota, Heilongjiang in China, and even the infamous Kwon prison in North Korea. Join us to learn about the lives of women living in the harshest conditions and understand why these prisons have a global reputation for being dangerous. 1. A Pasteur in Bogota, Colombia. This prison is one of the most notorious women's prisons globally, established in the early 1940s. Initially intended as a rehabilitation center for women, it has gained a dark reputation over the years. Inmates face harsh realities and crowded living conditions. The prison complex houses both low and high security inmates, with several buildings and units for different security levels. The prison grounds are surrounded by high walls and barbed wire. Inside there are shared living spaces, cells, and exercise yards. Living conditions can be very restrictive, with many inmates sharing small cells. Overcrowding is a serious issue. Gangs operate within the prison, leading to power struggles and violence. Reports of violence and abuse by other inmates and prison staff are common. The prison has been linked to drug trafficking and has housed many famous inmates, including political figures and drug traffickers. Notable inmates include Yasmine Medina, a former Colombian congresswoman convicted of bribery, and Emma Coronel Espiro, the wife of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the infamous leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel. 2. Heilongjiang in northeastern China. This prison, established in the 1950s, has become one of the most feared women's prisons in the world. Imagine towering walls, multiple layers of security, and watchtowers monitoring every move. This massive complex houses hundreds of female inmates, with crimes ranging from petty theft to severe offenses. What makes Heilongjiang truly dangerous goes beyond its walls. It is a place where strict discipline and harsh treatment prevail. Shocking reports of human rights violations and mistreatment of inmates are common. One of the most notorious aspects of this prison is its forced labor programs. Inmates are forced to work long hours on grueling and monotonous tasks. These harsh conditions have raised serious concerns about forced labor and human rights abuses. Heilongjiang has also housed high-profile inmates, from former government officials to human rights activists, each with their own harrowing stories. Notable inmates include Han Han, a former government official convicted of corruption, Chen Yaoyu, a social media influencer, and Liming Zhang, a human rights activist. Heilongjiang is not just a place of punishment, but a symbol of China's stringent judicial system. 3. Holloway Women's Prison in the UK. Established in 1852, this prison was one of the most famous women's prisons in the world until it closed its doors permanently in 2016. Imagine tall gray walls reaching the sky, massive iron gates standing like tireless guards, and each bar bearing the weight of countless stories. Inside, long dark corridors lead to small cells with beds and tiny windows. This is where the sound of footsteps tells the stories of many women's journeys. Holloway was not just a prison but a witness to the evolution of women's rights and the criminal justice system. Here, suffragette leaders like Emmeline Pankhurst and Emily Davison were imprisoned, marking a crucial chapter in the fight for equality. Holloway also housed other famous inmates, including Ruth Ellis, the last woman executed in Britain, and Myra Hindley, infamous for her role in the Moors murders. What made Holloway one of the most dangerous women's prisons was overcrowding and outdated infrastructure, creating a challenging environment. The diversity of inmates, from low-risk offenders to those who committed heinous crimes, sometimes led to high tensions. Ultimately, Holloway was more than a prison. It was a testament to women's rights struggles and a bitter reminder of the challenges in the criminal justice system. The story of Holloway is one of women fighting for survival and justice in the harshest conditions. 4. Bandiup Women's Prison in Australia. Established in 1967, this notorious facility has become a dark cornerstone in the Australian criminal justice system. As you approach Bandiup, high walls rise before you, topped with barbed wire glinting in the sunlight. Guards with serious faces stand at the entrance, their sharp eyes watching anyone who dares enter this realm of the condemned. Behind these formidable walls lies a world of tension and despair. Crowded cells hold women from all walks of life, some awaiting trial, others serving their sentences. The air is heavy with the weight of shattered dreams and lost futures. Bandiup's notoriety stems not only from its inmates, but also from the conditions defining daily life here. Overcrowding plagues the facility, with far more inmates than it was ever designed to hold. This crushing density breeds conflict, turning already difficult lives into a constant battle for survival. The prison has seen its share of tragedy, with numerous cases of suicide and self-harm marking its dark history. These grim statistics are stark reminders of the psychological toll that life behind bars demands. Yet, even in this enclosed space, echoes of the outside world remain. Notable inmates like Rosen Beckett, wrongly convicted and later exonerated, and Jody Morin, from the notorious Morin crime family, have walked these halls. Their stories intertwine with countless others, adding to Bandiup's complex legacy. As day turns to night, the lights of Bandiup Women's Prison continue to burn, symbolizing society's struggles with justice, rehabilitation, and the human cost of incarceration. This prison serves as a sobering reminder of the challenges at the heart of our criminal justice system. 5. Stile Women's Prison in the UK. Nestled in the picturesque Cheshire countryside, Stile Women's Prison hides a world of contradictions behind its serene exterior, recognized as one of the most dangerous women's prisons in the world. Originally built as a men's prison in 1962, it was converted into a women's prison in 1964. Located near the village of Stile, its history is closely tied to changes in the status of female prisoners in the UK. Spread over 354 acres, the prison includes various facilities, such as the main prison building, residential units, and recreational areas. The prison building casts a large and intimidating shadow, housing hundreds of female inmates convicted of various crimes. Inside, the prison contains wings and cells that house inmates based on different security classifications. Stile has gained notoriety for several reasons. One of the main factors is the high-profile inmates it has housed over the years, drawing media attention. Additionally, the prison's conditions and treatment of inmates have been a concern and criticism for human rights organizations. Notable inmates include Myra Hindley, involved in the Moors murders of the 1960s, who served part of her life sentence at Stile. Rose West, another infamous figure convicted of multiple murders, including gruesome killings of women, was incarcerated at Stile before being transferred to another prison. Karen Matthews, known for her involvement in the disappearance of her daughter, Shannon Matthews, also served part of her sentence at Stile. Her case, due to its shocking nature, garnered extensive media attention. In fact, in 2003, Stile Prison was recognized as one of the most notorious prisons in terms of suicide rates in England and Wales. 6. Kichon Concentration Camp in North Korea. Located in the heart of North Korea, in the city of Kichon, lies one of the world's most infamous prisons, Kichon Concentration Camp. This camp is part of North Korea's extensive network of political prisons known as Kwanliso. The camp has drawn global criticism for its harsh conditions and human rights abuses. Situated in a remote area of North Korea, the complex is surrounded by high walls and barbed wire fences. Inside, the camp has various sections, including living quarters, forced labor facilities, and punishment areas. The entire complex is heavily guarded, making escape nearly impossible. The buildings within the camp are simple and harsh, with minimal amenities for inmates. Kichon is infamous for its brutal treatment of inmates, especially women. Inmates are subjected to forced labor, ideological indoctrination, and constant surveillance. Defectors and international human rights organizations have extensively documented the harsh conditions and human rights abuses in this camp. Inmates often endure physical and psychological torture, making Kichon one of the scariest places in North Korea. Notable inmates in such facilities include Shin Dong-hyuk, who was born in Kichon Camp No. 14. Shin managed to escape and has since become a human rights advocate, exposing the atrocities committed in these camps. Han Kal-Atuan was imprisoned in Yodak concentration camp, another notorious camp. He authored a book called Aquariums of Pyongyang, providing a harrowing account of his experiences in North Korean prison camps. Kim Hae-suk spent 28 years in a North Korean prison camp, including a period in Kichon. Her story is another account of the brutality faced by inmates in these camps. Inmates at Kichon endure physical and psychological torture, including beatings, sexual abuse, and forced labor. Guards are known for their brutality, making survival in the camp a constant struggle. The camp's remote location makes it difficult for inmates to communicate with the outside world or attempt escape. Inmates are separated from their families, creating a sense of despair and hopelessness. Medical care in the camps is minimal, and inmates often suffer from untreated illnesses and injuries. This lack of medical attention can lead to serious health problems and even death. Reflecting on the forced labor in North Korea brings us to the end of the first part of this program. If you enjoyed this program and would like to watch the next part, be sure to subscribe to our channel and activate the bell.